This is Bresnan Arena in Mankato, located within Taylor Center at 1651 Warren Street in Mankato. The website for the arena is in the link below. It will direct you toward the website of Taylor Center as the arena is within the center. Taylor Center is ran by Athletic Director Kevin Bussman, while Assistant Athletic Director Byron Sinstegard oversees management of the facility. The arena holds a capacity of up to 4,800 people and serves for the Minnesota State Mavericks boys and girls basketball teams, the volleyball team, and the wrestling team, as well as the university's commencement ceremonies and other large events that are operated by MNSU. This is just a map of the arena from where I'm standing. So you got the whole arena in the middle. You got maintenance offices and some conference rooms that are connected on both sides. You got the Johnson Alumni Room, which is just behind here. That's the room where the sports administration meetings are usually held, which I usually attend. And then behind there is the Brock Otto Hall of Champions area. Here's a shot of the arena from midcourt. As you see on both the wide lengths, it's designed to have the coloring of each of the lengths with the MSU lettering. I think that the decoration of the MNSU lettering within the seats was very creative and distinctive for the arena. It's certainly a very good design point for the arena. I did not know that Mankato has, they literally have a video board. I didn't know that Mankato as a Division II team had enough funding for that. The video board here is actually brand new and was just installed over the summer. The video board was donated by the Krebenhoff family, which is why their name's on the board. Kelby Krebenhoff, a former Mankato native, agreed to pledge $400,000 toward installing this $795,000 video board to deliver live video and instant replay for the audience. One thing I'll say about this video board that I'm not too comfortable about is the sight of the fact that it's being held up by these two rope and pulley machines. I don't feel like that is the most safe way to hold together that video board. I mean, I get it's brand new, but I feel like there could have been a better way to hold this together, because if that breaks and falls directly in the middle of the basketball court, it's going to absolutely destroy the middle of that court. And if it happens during the game, that could be deadly. And this is a shot of the concession stand from within the arena. Okay, you're not telling me you're charging $4 for a hot dog. That better be a life-changing hot dog right there. So the camera people record on this heightened stand here. I'm standing on the ladder for it right here. This is where they film the broadcast for the game. There's one here next to the 107-108 stand. And this is the other section where the broadcast team stands next to the 111 to 107 section. Probably should be careful here. So obviously they have their boys and girls basketball games here. They also have the volleyball games here. I've seen a few practices when I attended the meetings over at Johnson Alumni, and they usually have the volleyball net in the middle of the court, and then they also have chairs lined up on each side. They also hold wrestling games here. So usually for that, they're going to take down the basketball hoops, and I don't know, you probably won't see this, but there are wheels underneath each of these hoops, so they can easily just roll it out of the arena when the wrestling games are going on. They take out mats, put it over the flooring, and that's where the wrestling matches are usually. These chairs, however, are not for the volleyball team. They're actually for the away football team. I heard during our home games that the road teams would end up coming in here during halftime. We do have away locker rooms for them, but it's meticulously placed all the way over there behind Johnson Alumni Room. So the away football teams come in here instead to save the walk. This, behind this black glass here, is the Johnson Alumni Center. I know you can't see it. I'll put on a picture of it in a second, but this is where the former alumni come, and this is like a reserved seating area for them during the basketball games. This is also where the sports management administration team meets every Tuesday. Shout out to them. The banners of the All-American players from the MSU basketball team, both men's and women's, their banners up there based on conference championships, NCAA appearances. And then on the other side here, you also got All-American banners of the volleyball team. Here are also the banners for the women's basketball team's appearances in the Elite Eight in 2008 and 2010, which includes the national championship win in 2008. Let's take a look above the arena. I'm not sure if you'll see this entirely, but the section here this roof section is shaped in a U, and this is usually where filmers go up on a rooftop view to take shots, usually for like social media profiling for the teams. I find it interesting that they have a walkway in between these two sections. Is that meaning that the different filmers from the home team and the road team stand in each different side to take pictures and take videos of their fans and the game from down here? Next to Bresnan Arena, you got the Hall of Champions right here. This is where they have memorabilia, pictures from Mankato sports past, as well as university's history. And then you also have a picture of Adam Thielen here, possibly the greatest Mankato alumni turned success story. Founded in 2000, the Hall of Champions was designed to reflect the history of the university. However, much of the materials that are shown in the cases come from more recent years to reflect the big ideas, real-world thinking motto around the campus today. Much of the materials that are in these cases were donated by former alumni and faculty, as the school hadn't really collected many artifacts to put into cases prior. Here's the box office where the tickets for the games and events were sold. This is the Johnson Alumni Room. This is where most of the athletes sit during the games. It's just a very large conference room. This is the side entrance door for Taylor Center that leads toward the side section of the arena and leads directly toward the box office sales center. I feel it's a good design to have this additional parking lot on the side and have two different entrances to prevent crowding at the doors. So this is the secondary section for Bresnan Arena. It seats sections 100 to 106. It's right next to the Kurt Sampson Family Student Welcome Center. It's basically on the side door of Taylor Center. So this whole Hall of Champions stretches from the side exit of Taylor Center all the way to the front door within the interior parking lot. And then Johnson Alumni Room sits in between that section as well. There was a stairway next to the arena that led downstairs to the locker room section. This here is the athletic trainer office named after former MNSU athletic trainer Gordy Graham, who worked here from 1964 to 1992, and authored MNSU's National Athletic Trainers Association and was eventually inducted into the MNSU Hall of Fame in 1996. Here are the tunnels that lead into the arena. There are 4 designed in each corner. The one thing I noted about this was that, like the ceiling, the walkway was shaped into like a U that led to dead ends on each leg. I would have tried to design the walkway to be more circular to coincide with each tunnel, but if I ever made an arena, I would design the entrances to be in each corner to be unique in comparison to the arenas with just one entrance for each team. Here are photos of the locker rooms for both the girls' basketball team and the wrestling team. Now, these aren't in the picture, but I noticed that the visiting boys' basketball team locker room was right next to the MNSU girls' basketball locker room, and the visiting girls' locker room was next to the MNSU boys' locker room. I feel that it seems oddly structured, and that it would be better to move the visiting locker rooms to another section of the walkway, rather than right next to the MNSU varsity team's locker room. Here is a picture of the graduation storage room where they hold the items that are used during the commencement ceremonies each year. Here's a photo of inside the MNSU boys basketball team's locker room, which was the only one that was available for an interior shot of. The design of the locker room is fairly standard, and in the corner there was a whiteboard with game plan material on it, which is why I took the picture at this angle, for, privacy reasons. Next to the boys basketball team's locker room was a trophy case with trophies that were earned by the wrestling team over the years. The thing I noticed was that in the boys basketball team's locker room, there were trophies and banners of the team's success within the locker room, while the trophies of the wrestling team were shown outside of the wrestling complex. I felt maybe that the case should have been inside the complex to match with the decoration of the other locker rooms. Behind the trophy case is the Rummy Macias Wrestling Complex, which serves as a practice facility for the wrestling team. The complex is named after Rummy Macias, who founded the MNSU wrestling team in 1950 and led the Mavericks to 2 NAIA national titles. Down in this hall are the offices of all the coaches that utilize the arena down here. So you got Corey Phelps, the volleyball coach. the assistant volleyball coaches here. You got the office of Emily Thies, the basketball coach for the women's team, your assistant women's basketball coaches, and then Matt Margenthaler, the basketball coach for the men's team. You got more assistant basketball coaches. And then the office of Jim Mavkovsky, the wrestling coach right here. Overall, Bresnan Arena has a very good blend of preserved amenities and facilities attached to the arena that have been part of the university for a long time, while also maintaining an overall contemporary appearance and keeping up with the latest state-of-the-art technologies that has kept a large following for the Maverick community. I would recommend for students to go see an event at the arena, but even if you don't, you'll likely end up going to see it anyway when it's time for graduation.